I think we have to be just as worried about the reaction to the attack from nationalists, from right-wingers, from people who have sought to drive this wedge, as it was described earlier, between the Islamic communities and the mainstream communities in Europe, because that's the tinder that could spark a fire that could go far, far beyond anything in these attacks.
It is so pathetic. Welcome to Give Me Five, ladies and gentlemen. Some left-wing reaction to the terrorist attacks in France. And here you go, the bleeding hearts, the self-haters, the apologists for what happened. And we have to be careful, we have to attack. He's gonna, now you're going to hear him now blame Abu Ghraib for the terrorist attack. I kid you not. But it's never the fault of the Islamic terrorists. It's always the fault of society. It's always the fault of the nation being attacked. And we have to take that under consideration, according to these lunatics on the left. Here's more from him.
In fact, I think, even listening to the conversation here, it's very important that we recognize the value of restraint in response to these things. They're conducted by people who are radicalized by overreaction. One of the reports has it that one of these guys who led this attack was radicalized by reading about Abu Ghraib, that prior to that he was not an extremist, and after that he moved into this vein of thought.
Yeah, poor little boy. We poisoned his mind. The big bad Abu Ghraib scandal poisoned his mind. Let me ask you a question. There was no Gitmo, there was no Abu Ghraib. We weren't in Iraq, we weren't in Afghanistan for the first World Trade Center attack, for the bombing of our embassies in Africa, for the second World Trade Center attack on 9/11. We weren't in any of those places. None of that had happened yet. So how were those attacks possible? Oh, well, you see, these liberals are sick. And he's not alone. He's not alone. Here's another one.
The bad news is there were attacks on at least 3 mosques and prayer rooms in France over the last day and a half in reaction, obvious reaction to the Charlie Hebdo events. And in the broader context, this is an issue that's going to be used very effectively and cynically by the far-right politicians, not only of France, but especially in the rest of Europe, places like Dresden, places like the Netherlands, where what is their message? Their message is essentially that they don't like immigrants, they don't like Muslims, they don't like foreigners.
Yeah, it's the right wing that's to blame here. That's the concern here. Not another attack, not even the attack that occurred. It's the right wing. You better watch how they're going to use this attack. They're the problem. More.
Their message, if you want to just take all the coding off of it, is essentially racist and xenophobic. But in order to avoid being called racists and xenophobes, what do they say? They say, we don't like Islam. And why do we not like Islam? Because Islam is an intolerant religion, and therefore we in Europe cannot tolerate those intolerant Muslims in our midst. It's a very effective argument. It's one that's been politically very successful in the Netherlands, for instance, and it is going to be fueled to a white-hot level by this incident and any further incidents that take place.
Oh, you think so? You think so? It's, again, the right wing and the reaction to the terrorist attack, not the attack's fault. Now watch this.
This is about what Paris, and in particular the president of Paris has been, France has been doing globally, engaging along with the United States in fighting terrorism. This was a direct response to that. And the fact of the matter is, again, the President of the United States is not the President of the world. As much as we sometimes want to make the argument, and even the President sometimes may come off as that, if you want to say, these realities are here for us right now. We are engaged in a global war on terror. All of our partners and allies are fighting this battle. And as has already been noted, we've got to stick together. We cannot, pretend that, we talk about Benghazi and we connect it to Paris, that everybody's going to think, oh, yeah, that works. It doesn't. That's not how this is playing out, I don't think.
Just sad and sick. Your Newsmax Now updates next.